to start off today. A little two songs for you. We had "Running Away into You" by John Frusciante. If you know about him, he was a guitarist in the during the '90s run of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And the second track we've heard was obviously "Dancing Queen" by ABBA, released in 1976. I think my mom was probably, I don't know, maybe four, two. Wait, hold on. My mom was born in '74. Okay, so my mom was like 2 years old when that album came out. And that John Frusciante album, I want to say was the what's it called? I want to say that was released in the '90s, '94 if I'm correct, probably '94. Oh wow, 1994. That's a while back, right? I think. I don't know. Good afternoon, listen to the coffee noise. I'm your host DJ Marlon. If you can't believe it, it's Thursday, Wednesday, once again. Why say Thursday? I'm looking forward to Thursday. It's Wednesday once again, listeners. How are we doing out there? Today is the 12th of March, 2025. How are we doing out there? I hope you are doing well. I wish you nothing but the best. You know what I'm saying? When I got to campus, I went to go renew my student ID. I've had my old ID for about, I don't know, maybe 2 years. I decided to renew it because I'm already in grad school for the next year and a half. So I was like, okay, I should probably renew it. I mean, I don't really use my student ID that much, but if I ever have to use it, especially for using the library, I'm gonna have to use that. So I was like, let's renew my photo. Geez, I look at the old image and to my new image, 2 years. What a difference. It was kind of a bit scary looking how different I looked. Um, it's kind of weird when you see your old images and then you see a new image. It's like, whoa, who is this? Completely different person. I don't know. Anyway, let's look at the weather for today, listeners. Right now in the city of Edinburgh, it is 86 degrees out there. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful, just beautiful day. I went to Walmart this morning to go pick up a few things for my girlfriend, and I realized it's a very nice day today. If you can, later tonight, go out for a nice walk. I know Sunday pretty much sucked for a lot of people since we lost an hour of sleep, but we gained one more hour of daylight in the evening. So, maybe around like 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, go outside, go for a little walk, or just go outside, make yourself a nice little coffee, put some headphones on. Great way to relax. Watch the sunset. I think that's kind of a nice, calming thing to do. I find it calming, at least. But then again, whatever. Let's see here. Today we're gonna have a high of 95 degrees. Friday, it is gonna get hot that day. We're looking at a high of 100 degrees. So if you're planning on doing anything with your family, I think that's a perfect day to go out. For me, I'll be at work, so like do like 3 to closing at work. So yeah, I won't be. I'll still experience the heat, just not that much all day. Let's see. Some things I want to get over for today. Lovely day outside. Go make yourself a cold drink. I have water with some ice cubes that I had from home. Have a little sip of water. Um, keep yourself hydrated out there, listeners. Um, I've been seeing a lot of people on campus not drinking water. Look, I enjoy a good soda and I enjoy a good energy drink, but come on, once in a while, get some water in. At least just drink water. It's not that hard. That's some good water right there. But yeah, I see a lot of people on campus not drink water. I remember once my brother, he had a roommate when he used to go here in college in 2018 to 2016 to 2020. That's when he was in college. One of his roommates, he never seen him drink water. Always soda. Don't really know what happened to that kid. Um, Obviously, that's not good for your body at all. Just drinking pure soda. I mean, I'm kind of a hypocrite because I drink a lot of energy drinks, but I always substitute with water always. But I drink a lot of water. I have like one of these hydro flasks and I fill up maybe like 3 times a day with water. Remember when hydro flasks were like a big deal? I think that was in high school. It was like the whole thing's like the craze and now it's like the Stanleys and now it's like something else now. I don't know why. I mean it's a nice insulated bottle, I'll give you that, but like I don't really get the whole trends of stuff like that. I guess that's kind of a more of a critic of like hyper consumerism we see in America, but I digress. But Yeah, go outside, go for a walk, drink your water, and let's get into some nice music right now. So I had to pull up a track from 1966. This is Wild is the Wind, the live recording by Nina Simone. I've been liking her music recently, and I want to pick this up. Want to pick up this album on vinyl, just have it in my collection. I think you'll like it. Anyways, remember, let's get into the music. So yeah, this is Wild in the Wind. And that was a track called This Wind by Nina Simone. I really do like that kind of like 60s jazz, African American jazz music. It's kind of what I've been listening to a lot recently. I was listening to a whole show on like 1940s African American jazz. It was like a 3 hour live session that I was listening to over the weekend, and I like really got me back into listening to a lot of music, into that kind of style of music. We're trying to go into like I want to do more, what's it called, like hyper specific songs. I don't know. I think there was a there was it's a YouTube video. I forgot. I think it was like something like they try to figure out like jazz music taste, and the guy had like very specific. It was like industrial music from the 1980s, African American prisoner songs, and something like that. Which I actually listened to. There's a good album if you want to look into that. It's called Wake Up Dead Man. It's like based on like some prisoner songs, but then black Texas prisons. It's both beautiful, but also the saddest thing I've ever heard. It's kind of like this weird thing in the middle. I really don't know how to describe it. Um, I know some people would say it's kind of exploiting their suffering, but I also find it kind of beautiful. I don't know. It's kind of like a diamond in the rough. I guess that'd be the right way to describe it as. I don't know, really. It's an interesting thing to discuss. I mean, that's a whole thing on that, but we try our best out here. You know what I'm saying? Well, I try my best. I don't know about, other people out there in the world, but anyways, listeners, do, 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 do. Let's see, top things on top of my mind right now are on the topic of jazz music. I never liked this idea that if you listen to jazz, you're automatically labeled as pretentious. Some people have. I mean, I guess and I can agree with something. Some people are like that when they're into too much jazz. They're kind of pretentious. But I think jazz, the whole likeness of jazz should be more democratic. Like you can listen to whatever. I mean, that's one jazz song for today. Well, there's one where I play a second jazz song, more like your '90s big band jazz. Coming out from Mingus Big Band. That'll be the last track of today's show. So I'll look forward to that, listeners. The next two tracks, I had to go for something a bit out there. The first track is from the '60s, I want to say. Love Fingers by Silver Apples. I think those who've seen the movie, if you've seen the movie Civil War, I think it was released by A24. I want to say it was like last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember off the top of my head. This was the opening track to use, like for the title scene. I think it was released in the 1960s, and it sounds pretty out there for being in the 60s. I mean, just not the kind of music, right? Yeah, in the 60s, you had the Beatles and King Crimson and, these other, I guess you kind of group them within this single genre, just kind of like, I guess a word you kind of would say with kind of these men groups, very, kind of saying one name, they have very generic names with either last names or like one word, the Beatles, the Hollies, everything like that. But Silver Apples, I mean, they only released two albums, but like they were ahead of the curve. This new style of electronic music. So we're gonna play one of their tracks, and the final track before we get into the half hour mark is gonna be Moving On Up by Primal Scream. So, let's get to this track. This is Love Fingers by Silver Apples. All right, listeners, and we are back. It is 1:31 in the afternoon. I'm about to turn 1:32. So I finished this the first half of today's show. How are we doing out there, listeners? I want to make sure that you are doing all well. Hope nothing but the best for you. Anyways, big news for if you're into underground hip hop. The American rapper Billy Woods has announced his new album, Gollywog, coming out in, I want to say, May 9th. He has a new single with producer Kenny Segal called Misery. Haven't checked it out yet, but I'm definitely gonna be listening to it on the way when I walk to my girlfriend's place. So we have to check out that album. It's gonna be coming off his previous two albums, 2023 Maps with Kenny Segal, as well as Euclid with the collab album We Buy Diabetic Test Strips. Interesting album name, but I really do love that album. Do love Mike. He's one of my or not Mike, Billy Woods. He's one of my favorite hip hop rappers, and I just love Kenny Segal's producing. I think he's kind of underrated in my what's it called? My opinion. But I love the name Gollywog. I don't know why. I think there's something. I don't know. I think I just like the name, that word. I think it just perfectly fits his style of music, and he's really into like having a background story about it. So I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to that album. I mean, it comes out on May 9th, so it's like only what, maybe like 2 months, 2 months away from here, something like that. So yeah, so I'll be pretty much busy that day. And then obviously we have some new music coming out right now. Let's look into some new music. We have Ichiko Aboa, the Japanese artist, Luminescent, with her new album Luminescent Creatures. Haven't gotten around to listening to it, but I know my girlfriend was listening to a NTS show she had on Residency. She really liked that music, so I told her like she's an amazing artist. I think I remember listening to her. There was her 2021 album, One Swept Adon. That was really good. So I'm pretty much guaranteeing this album's gonna be really great. I'll listen to that later. Probably my maybe tomorrow when I'm doing some basic reading. Probably put that on the background. Also, we had the new album by Panda Bear, Sinister Grift. I love Panda Bear. I mean, he's one of the members of Animal Collective, and I mean, Animal Collective is something I grew up listening to a lot recently, so I'm definitely listening to that. And then I haven't listened to it, but I know a lot of people saying the new Bad Bunny album was pretty good. Debate tomar más fotos. I might listen to it, just check it out. I don't really listen to much of his music. Nothing against him. I just never really got into reggaeton. It's not something I listen to personally, but I'm not against it. Um, but I do like he was able to change sounds, unlike other reggaeton artists that kind of stick within one specific field, which there's nothing wrong with that. I was saying if you can make a living off that, go for it. For me personally, I like it when artists are able to venture into different territories. I think that's really interesting. I mean, look at Lil Yachty. I mean, he did kind of your basic generic rap music, and a lot of people would argue it kind of. Some people would say he kind of fell off. Then he surprised everyone with that album in 2023. What was it called? I can't remember the top of my name. It was like a very psychedelic infused rock album. It reminded me of like early Tame Impala. So yeah, I don't know. And let's look at the next track right now. This is gonna be Little Fluffy Clouds by the Orb, throwing back to the 90s electronica sound. Yeah, let's get into it. So that was nice. So that was both Little Fluffy Clouds by the Orb. I believe that was released in the 90s, if I'm correct. And the second track you heard was Greatest Hits by the English band Jockstrap. That was released off their 2022 album, I Love You, Jennifer B. Great pop music. As you would say, it's kind of fits under art pop. I think that'd be the right term to use. But yeah, I've been listening to that album a lot as well. I think it's gotten to like modern day pop art pop music. I know a lot of people say like pop music is kind of dead, which is I don't know why people would say that's not dead. I mean, yeah, I guess you can say like the stuff they play on like mainstream radio. I mean, it's kind of not good, kind of trashy, and something like that. Some people say kind of dated. But there's a lot of good like art pop music out there. You just have to go out there and find it. I guess that's one of my main things I don't like about Spotify and Apple Music. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great. I mean, you can listen to any album. I mean, it's great. I mean, where I was kind of like go from listening to, I don't know, Playboy Cardi to immediately switching over to like 1990s Mexican folklore music. It's not, it's amazing. I agree with that. But I feel like their algorithm, it's pretty much, it's kind of stale. It's not that it's difficult to find new music on those kind of apps, but it kind of gives you like it's a very basic definition tries to look up like okay you might like very generic commonly known pop music. It's nothing really like in depth. That's why I tell people if you're really want to get into music, get into like a lot of music apps, get into Bandcamp, get into Nina, uh independent radio stations, get into that if you want to find new music because that's how I find new music every day. um don't get me wrong, I love turning on to the local radio stations here. Yeah, well, I don't know, the Wild Station, 94.5. What else? But you kind of hear the same old, same old. When you really get into it, like, okay, let's look into deep cuts. Let's look into what influenced those musicians and what music they influence other new musicians. You find a lot of new sounds in music. I mean, that's why I got into 70s Italian music, which is really good. It's if you're into you ever seen those spy movies? They use like those very stereotypical music. That's basically what it is, but like good. I think it's really I don't know. It's really good workout music as well. Makes you feel like you're in a movie, but then you're not. You're just doing cardio, which is hey, if you need motivation to do some cardio, I think it's a good way to do it. But yeah, I mean, I preach about NTS Radio because it's a really good radio station. I think if you really want to get to music, get into using app. Another good radio music app, Rover, ROVR. I think it's pronounced it. It's really good. It's a much more smaller compared to NTS, very smaller, but I think it's like really well tuned. There's a show that too was like jazz deep cuts, which was like, oh man, this is really good. I was listening to it at work when I was closing and counting up the money. It's not easy counting up a lot of bills. It sounds pretty cool when you're a kid. When you're adult's like, okay, this sucks. Yeah. Anyways, let's get to the last track for today. This I do for some big band jazz. This is Mingus Big Band, obviously Charles Mingus, obviously an all-time great jazz artist. But this is track "Moaning" from the 1993 album Nostalgia and Times Squares. Um, I like this song. I think it's really good, and hopefully you like it. So you know what? Let's get into it. This is "Moaning." All right, listen, that's gonna wrap up for today's show. For today, we played a total of 8 tracks for y'all. That was we played Running Away Into You, Dancing Queen, Wild as the Wind, Love Fingers, Moving On Up, Little Fluffy Clouds, Greatest Hits, and the final track we played was Moanin' by Mingus Big Band. I think I've just been in a jazz kick lately. As always, this week's playlist will be available on both Apple Music and Spotify. You can find them by following my Instagram at Watford2003. And final words before I let you go, sea salt. Dark chocolate and sea salt. I do like that. I also like caramel when it's mixed in. It's like really good. I want a caramel macchiato. Not thinking about it. Maybe another energy drink. Who knows? Anyways, listeners, that's gonna be it for it. I'm your host, DJ Marlin. Have fun with spring break, and remember, you're listening to Buckle Radio, the Valley's only student station. Bye bye.